Hi guys, how are you today? I am going to be filming a Q&A video again today. I did this, I don't know, a couple of months ago, and you guys seemed to really like it, and I really enjoyed it. I love just kind of chit-chatting with you guys. I feel like, you know, you're asking the questions and I can give you, you know, a more in-depth answer than something, you know, just on social media. So I did get quite a few questions. I don't know if I will get to all of them because you guys know I'm pretty windy, but I will answer as many as I can, and I will try to go in depth with certain things, but let's just get started. Okay, the first question is, what is your must-have purse item? And I was actually asked that quite a few times, but I thought about this, and I mean, of course there's the basic answer, which is my wallet, which is actually true though, because if I didn't have my wallet, then I wouldn't have most of what I would need on a daily basis, but that's the basic answer. The other couple of things that I always have in my purse would be my liquid stevia, because you know, if you need some iced coffee or something, you gotta have a little bit of liquid stevia, or if you need like iced tea or whatever it is, you never know when you're gonna need it. And then the other thing would be all of my lip stuff. I always have chapstick, lip gloss, and lipstick in my purse, always. Because I don't know, like if I go out with no makeup on or something and I just wanna add a little bit of lipstick, it's the best. Then with the chapstick, I guess in the winter, I always have that. I don't really use it as much in the summer, but my lips get so dry in the winter, so I always have that in my purse, and I use it all of the time. The next question I love because it goes a lot along with what's going on in our life right now and what has been going on is what is the best thing about owning your own business? And I mean, I would say definitely being my own boss. That's easily the best thing. You know, you don't really have to answer to anybody, and you can have reign as to what you want to do with your business. But the thing is that people don't always realize this unless they're all in on their own business. You know, people think, oh, well, you have all the freedom in the world when you're your own boss and when you're a business owner. And the truth is, yeah, you have freedom, but you're constantly on 24/7 for your business. Do you know what I'm saying? If something goes wrong at 3 in the morning at the building, that's on you. If somebody is upset about something, that's on you. If somebody doesn't show up to work or they call off or whatever, that's on you. You have to go work. You know what I mean? So it is freedom, but at the same time, you are constantly worrying and putting all of your energy and effort into that baby, you know what I mean? That, like, our business is our baby. And so it's just important to realize that when it comes to business owners, I guess, because I mean, I'm sure there are business owners that they just pay somebody to worry about everything and they don't have to worry about it, and then they just make money. But for us, like, we're very hands-on. Like, we are all in with everything, you know? We work the majority of the hours. I mean, we have a wonderful, wonderful staff. We really do. We always have since the very beginning. But I mean, Alex works a lot of hours, do you know what I mean? And then I do a lot of the back end stuff. And that's what we each enjoy, you know? And I love being there and talking to people and getting to know people so well over the years. And we have our regular customers that come in, which is really cool too. I think that's a huge perk and a huge, it's a positive thing about owning a business, is that you get to know people really well, especially the people that come in often and support you and support your business. And so I really have enjoyed that over the years, getting to know our regulars or whatever who have really truly just become friends. But yeah, just know, like, if people own a business and they're all in on it and they're working a lot of the hours and they're doing a lot of the day-to-day stuff, I mean, yes, there's freedom, but they are always worried too. I know I am, like, I'm not worried, but just always wanting to make sure that everything's okay, because at the end of the day, that's my reputation. It is our baby, and if something goes wrong, it's on us. But also on the flip side, if something goes right, it's on us too, which it's a give and take, and it's a really, really, really cool thing. Okay, the next question is, who is the best Big Brother player of all time in your opinion? And I love this question because if you know me, you know I love Big Brother, but I will say I have not watched it since season 1, so it wasn't like my all-time favorite show growing up or anything. But since I started watching, I did go back and watch multiple seasons. So I've watched seasons 11 through what was it, 18. And then I watched a couple of the Canadian ones, and I actually watched an Australian version. So you know, I don't know every single player, especially here in the US. I didn't watch seasons 1 through 10 yet. I have watched some of season 8 though with Evil Dick. So he is a great player, don't get me wrong. He's been a great player since I've watched, I don't know, probably 3/4 of it. I haven't finished it. So I would say he's a really good player, but from me just watching what I've watched, of course I'm gonna say Derek, and that might be like a very basic answer, but I just think that Derek played a flawless game in so many ways, and he was nice while doing it. You know what I mean? He wasn't like hateful and everybody liked him. He was very believable. I don't know, I just think that he brought something different, and I know there's probably a lot of people that would not agree with me on that, but I just really liked him as a player and as a person. So I would say Derek from season 16. Okay, the next question. What was your first concert, and do you still listen to that band or person today? Our first concert, my first concert, and I think it was my sister's as well, was the Backstreet Boys, which is kind of crazy because I feel like I was more of an NSYNC person when I was younger, but Backstreet Boys was the first concert I went to. And do I still listen to them? No, but have I heard some of their songs in recent years? Yes, of course, you know, like on throwback stations and all of that, but I don't like go out of my way to listen to them or anything. But, you know, I do like keeping up with them and with NSYNC, you know, here and there to see some of the guys and what they're doing. But I would say I was definitely more of an NSYNC girl than Backstreet Boys, even though I saw Backstreet Boys first. Okay, the next question. What is your favorite non-alcoholic drink? For me, that's easy, and anybody that knows me knows this. Definitely iced water. I know, so basic, but I love ice water. I'm so particular about it as well. Like, my ratios with my ice and water have to be on point. I always have my water with me, you guys, seriously. Like, if I'm anywhere without water, it's a very rare occasion. So, ice water is my favorite. I also love iced coffee. I very rarely drink hot coffee unless it's like the dead middle of winter, you know, like now or in the future coming up, because in the summer, no way am I drinking hot coffee. It just doesn't happen. But, you know, I just like iced coffee year round. I guess Alex kind of gave me that outlook, but it's seriously just so good. So iced coffee and ice water. I really enjoy Zevia. I've told you guys about Zevia before in my vlogs and stuff, but I've really been enjoying that. Like if we have something, you know, like a little saltier for dinner or whatever, I don't know. I just like to have Zevia with dinner sometimes, and I like the cola kind. I just recently tried the strawberry kind. I really enjoy that. The cherry cola kind is good. So yeah, ice water, iced coffee, and Zevia. Okay, the next question is, what are your favorite Young Living blends? So not just oils, but the blends. So I think my favorite blend that I can think of off the top of my head would definitely be Stress Away. I use that all the time. I love the smell of it, but I really, really love the benefits of it as well. I mean, it's called Stress Away, so you can imagine what it does for you. I just really like that it has that little bit of like vanilla hint in it as well. I love anything vanilla, so it's really, just really nice. I just love it. I always have a roll-on in my purse of that as well, actually. I also really like the blend Tranquil, which is really nice for sleep. I really, really like that. I like Deep Relief it helps with like muscle pain and stuff like that. That's also a roll-on. And then when I create my own blend, it would definitely be lavender, lemon, and peppermint together. Those three, you guys, it's like what got me hooked to Young Living years ago. But I just love those three together. I always have that going in the diffuser at least once a day, I would say. It's just really, really good. So those are probably my favorite blends off the top of my head, but I use so many different things. I could go on and on about oils, and I actually have a video about oils coming soon, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, those are what I can think of off the top of my head. The next question is, what is your biggest tip for a successful relationship? I love the relationship that you and Alex have. Thank you so much for that. At first when I saw this question, I was like, I mean, you know, nobody's relationship is perfect. We certainly don't have the perfect relationship or anything. We have arguments, we don't see eye to eye on certain things, but I think what has really helped us since the very beginning is our communication. I have always been somebody that I have to communicate, because if I hold things in, I get mad or I get anxious, and I just don't want to do that. So I'm a huge communicator. I like to talk about things. Alex wasn't always like that, so we've had, you know, he's totally turned into that now. Like, we definitely have very open communication about whatever it is. If we don't agree with something, we're honest with each other. I guess a big thing for us too is we've just never had to worry about one another when it comes to like loyalty or like cheating or anything like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just have never had any worries with him, and I think that's really just been a really good thing. I know a lot of couples go through hard times with trust issues and all of that, but I've never had any sort of trust issue with Alex, and I don't even need to like knock on wood or anything. Like, I just know that deep in my soul that he wouldn't do that to me. I guess you know, some of you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's saying that. But I just feel that way. Like, the trust that we have for one another and the love that we have for one another, I trust him with my entire life and then some, you know? So we have a lot of trust, we have great communication, and, you know, compromise. I think compromise in a relationship is huge as well. I mean, again, like I said, you're not always gonna see eye to eye, and I think that sometimes there's this really skewed vision in the world that everything has to be perfect in a relationship or you can't be together. But the truth is, nobody's relationship is perfect, ever. And if people say that it is, they're lying, you know what I mean? Because there's always gonna be ups and downs in a relationship. But compromise is huge, and you know, there might be things that you don't necessarily love about somebody, or they have like weird quirks or whatever, but it's like that's who they are, and you can either choose to love them or love them through whatever that is, or you don't. And a lot of relationships can fail because of that, but we chose that no matter what, we are going to work through it, and we are going to compromise if we need to, and we are going to be partners in all that we do. So I don't know, I think just really having that communication and knowing that you have that unconditional love for someone is really what can get you through any relationship, whether it is you know, a marriage or a friendship or whatever it is. Those are things that have really helped me in my life. Okay, the next question, I wasn't sure if I was going to answer it or not, but I'm going to, because why not? It is, what are your favorite baby names for girls and boys? So, I mean, we have definitely talked about this, and this kind of goes back to the compromise thing, because we have not always seen eye to eye on the names, but I think we've kind of narrowed it down for whenever we do get pregnant. I have to like put the disclaimer out there that we are not pregnant, and we are not like trying right now. We probably will be within a year or so. I don't really know, but we, you know, and if we get pregnant, we get pregnant, but right now is like, just, we're not pregnant. So I'm just letting you guys know that right off the bat. But for names that we really like, I actually have a whole list in my phone, but our favorite girl's name that we have compromised on is Riley Kimala Respess. Riley is a name that we both just really like for a girl, and we both like it. That was easy for us. But Kimala, of course, we both really loved. It's actually his mom's name, and you guys know that his mom passed away over 10 years ago, and we just thought it would be a really special way to honor her and give our future daughter her name. So that was easy for us. Other girls' names that I personally like, I like Ellie, or, you know, something along that line. I don't know, I think I like the L names. I also like the name Lila. I know it's a little different and maybe a little bit weird or whatever, but I love the name Lila. I think that's just so pretty. Alex loves the name Abigail. I'm not necessarily feeling that for our daughter, but I do think it's such a beautiful name. So we had considered that as a middle name as well, like Riley Abigail. So I don't know. I mean, if our first child is a girl, I would say that more than likely her name will be Riley Kimela Respess, but we'll see. And then for a boy, it's so funny because Alex really wanted to name a baby boy James Walker because his brother's middle names are James and Walker. But I don't know, like, I love that. I love that, like, it would be like a sentimental thing, but the way, really, the compromise thing here, the way Alex says Walker, he says it like that, Walker, and that just makes me crazy. I said that we're not naming our son that when you say Walker. It's not happening. So anyways, we both really like Caden James. So Caden with a C, Caden James Respess. So if we have a little boy, that will more than likely be his name. So those are like the main names. What else do we like for a boy? We really like the name Spencer. There's a whole story on that. But we do have somebody in our family named Spencer, so it's doubtful we will name our child Spencer, but we both do really like that. What were the other names that we really like? I like the name Tanner, but he doesn't like that, so that's out. But yeah, I mean, we have seriously, a whole list of like everything in order, but just remember Riley Kimela and Caden James as our future babies' names. Not right now, in the future. Okay, the next question is, what are your favorite stores to shop for clothes? I love your style. Thank you. I don't know, I shop so many different places, but I narrowed it down to 3 because I didn't want to like go off on a huge tangent with this. But the places that I shop the most, I would say, are Target. I love Target in store, but I also love it online. They have so many options online, and they're affordable, and they're cute, and they're well made, and I like it. I'm somebody that I don't really like to spend a whole bunch of money, you know, for a shirt. Like, I'm not spending $80 on a shirt. So I really like Target for that reason. Another place I love is Torrid. I think Torrid has wonderful plus size clothes. The only thing about Torrid is that it can get expensive. So you have to shop the deals there. I love to shop the clearance online or in the stores. Or when they use like their Haute Cash, I think that's what it's called. You can basically get 50% off that way. So I really, really like that. And I also really love TJ Maxx and Marshalls. I love shopping the racks there. It's one of my favorite stores, TJ Maxx specifically, but I also really like Marshalls, and I've always had really good luck there. They do have plus sizes there if you didn't know that. They have 1X to 3X, so, and their sizes there, like, it just depends. Like, I can wear anything between a 1X and a 3X, just depending on what it is and who the designer is and stuff like that. But I really, really like those 3 stores. I think that for the most part, they're very affordable, and I don't know, I know for the most part what styles look good on my body, so it's easy for me to shop online or shop in the store or whatever, because I can like look at something and be like, that's gonna look good or that isn't. I'm also not afraid to wear colors. I think that's like something that's huge. I mean, right now of course I have black on but I will be honest, like, I don't wear that much black all of the time. I really don't. I've always been somebody that wears a lot of color. I don't know, I've just always been like that. So I would say definitely don't be afraid of color. Like, it's easy to look at something on the rack and be like, oh, that's not gonna look good, it has too much color, it's too like crazy. But give it a try. You really never know. And yes, black is awesome, and I think black is very like sleek and professional and like can be really sexy, but try out the patterns, try out the colors. I really highly recommend it because you never know if you don't try, you know? Okay, this will probably be the last question because I'm sure I'll get a little bit windy on it, but it is, how did you become so confident and motivated in your life? And you know, it's funny because my dad and mom have always said, you are just such a confident person. And my dad has always said to my mom, you know, you made our girls that way. You made them be so confident. And I believe that. I believe that, one, my parents instilled in us that we are worthy and we are worth whatever we want in this life. And that was with or without, it didn't matter what my size was, you know what I mean? I've always just been able to walk in the room and be confident. That doesn't mean that I don't get brought down sometimes, and that doesn't mean that I'm not super hard on myself sometimes, because I am absolutely my biggest critic. And I think especially after I was on the show, it was worse than it ever had been. I think before the show I was probably, if you knew me then, if you think that I'm like talkative and confident now, I was like so extroverted back then. I had no fears. I mean, it was kind of crazy, to be honest with you. Now, I would say I'm much harder on myself. Well, I was for a while there. Harder on myself, not always as confident. Definitely have, you know, anxious tendencies and stuff like that. But I don't know, it's just something that's been within me. And I guess just genuinely knowing my worth has been something that has really helped me my whole life. I will say I did lose that for a little while there after the show. I just thought that no matter what I did, it wasn't good enough. And that's truly how I felt. I felt like no matter what I did, it wasn't good enough. I wasn't small enough. I didn't do enough for everybody else around me. And I let the people that were saying negative things, I let those things affect me, and I let those things define me. And I really, okay, I'm gonna tell you guys this because I haven't talked a lot about it here or anywhere, but I did bring it up on the cruise, and it was a very emotional thing for me. I brought it up in the panel that we had, and I don't even know why it came out or why I decided in that moment I was going to bring it up. But I really believe that it's helped me, especially over the last year, become who I am and really like come into myself. And that is, it was probably a little bit over a year ago. Somebody said to me, let me just say this, I've had so many wonderful people and so much support on the internet over the years. I would say I probably have one of the biggest support systems online from Biggest Loser of anybody. And I know that. But as a human being, you know that you could have 1,000 people saying one thing. If there's one person that says something, that one person can bring you down. And as much as you don't want it to, it can, even if you like internalize it. So anyways, as much support as I have received, I have had some really horrible things said to me over the years. And some of the things I've shared here with you guys, and other things I haven't. Something that was said to me a little over a year ago, and that's when I realized I cannot let anybody define me or tell me anything about my life when they have no clue. This was said, and it really just changed my mind about everything. It was somebody on the internet said, I hope that you get cancer someday so you can finally know what it feels like to be thin. And when I heard that, when I saw that, I thought to myself, wow, like that person is messed up. Because even though it was a troll or whatever, it was still a person behind a computer saying that. You know what I mean? And it was one of the most hurtful things. It probably was the most hurtful thing that anybody's ever said to me. But when I fully processed that and I realized, wow, this person literally knows nothing about me. They think that they do. They think that my life is defined by my weight. And maybe for the last couple of years it has been because I've allowed that to happen. It really just made me change my mind. It made me say, you know what? Nobody is gonna tell me that my life is defined by weight, or my life is defined by the way that I look, or my life is defined by a television show, because it's not, you know? And all I did after that was truly, genuinely pray for that person and really just genuinely wish the best for them. And I really hope that they can find some peace. And you know, there have been some hateful people on the internet after that. I mean, you guys know, just in a vlog a couple weeks ago, I was talking about just people saying stupid things that why do they say it? You know what I mean? But what I always go back to is they just don't have peace in their life. And I know that it's way more about them than it is about me when people project that way. And it's not just me saying that anymore, like just saying, oh, well, I know that they're just projecting. Like I genuinely believe that. Like I feel empathy for them. Like I feel sad for them that that is their life, that like they feel like they need to go and talk like that to somebody on the internet. So anyways, it kind of goes back to the confidence thing and the self-worth thing. Like, I know that I'm worth more than somebody being able to say that to me, and I know that I'm worth more than feeling that way when they say that to me. Like, I know that I'm worth more than feeling like, oh well, I hope I do get cancer so I can be thin or whatever. Like, who even thinks of that, you know? So I just know my worth, and there are days that I wake up and it's a struggle. Like, I wake up and I'm struggling with whatever I'm dealing with for that day, and I feel like, you know what, this is a hard day for me, and I look in the mirror and I don't feel good about myself, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that I'm not worth it as a person as a whole. But just know that you're not gonna have perfect days. You're not gonna be confident every single moment of every single day. You're gonna have doubts in yourself, but those doubts, let those things propel you forward to be the best version of yourself and to know your worth. Never lose your worth in any of it. You're allowed to have a bad day. You're allowed to have a bad week. You're allowed to feel down. Like, that's part of life, but that does not define you. What defines you is your love, your tenacity, your family, the way that you treat other people. There are so many wonderful, positive things that define you, and it's never your low moment. I promise you that. Your low moment helps you find that strength in yourself to be the best version of yourself, to be a confident person, and to know your worth. And I wholeheartedly believe that. And don't let anybody, and I mean anybody, take that away from you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Well, I think that's gonna be it for today, because my camera is actually flashing at me right now, telling me that the battery is about to die. So I'm just gonna end this here today. I just wanted to say thank you so much for submitting all of the questions so I could answer them for you. I hope to do this again in the future. I really enjoyed this, and I hope you guys did as well. If you wanna see my other Q&A video that I did a while back, I will link that below. But please be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and leave a little thumbs up down below. And of course, leave a comment down below so I can come say hello back to you. And I will see you in another video tomorrow. Love you.